To our loyal Dub Talk listeners, this is not the full film of The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. This is a review of the English dub of the film. At the time of this disclaimer, the film can be purchased on Blu-ray from G-Kids, sub-only, through retailers such as Amazon and Right Stuff, as well as found streaming through subscriptions with HBO Max. Please support the official release. Sincerely, the Dub Talk Podcast. Oh, shoot. Didn't see you there. Welcome. I hope you're doing wonderfully today. I'm just enjoying a wonderful blue Hawaiian and reading one of my favorite children's books. What's that? You're here for a disclaimer? Well, I don't see why not. Very well then. Warning, the Dub Talk podcast contains language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Also, fair warning, there will be spoilers for the film The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, as well as various other series and films. I'd say do use caution in case we discuss something you have yet to finish. Finally, the opinions expressed in today's episode belong to the individual participants, and may not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Now then, if you'll excuse me, it looks like the Festival Council is after me again. Oh, pardon me, excuse the mess, and away we go!
Welcome, dear listeners, to another season of Dub Talk at the Movies, where we talk about the latest and greatest in anime dubs, or that's what the page in front of me is telling me, because some of these dubs are not that new, but they're good. They are good.
Some of them are not that new, but you know, whatever, we're here.
They are good. We're not going to waste your time on a bad dub. You can guarantee that.
Or if we do decide to talk about a bad dub, it'll be to Wondrous Results, I think.
Probably.
If Nakaimo has taught me anything this year so far.
Exactly.
Anyway.
It's our first episode, ladies and gentlemen. So you get to have some good stuff right up front because.
Yes.
Steph, do we have a movie tonight? Do we have a movie for the nice people at home?
Oh, I believe we do, Amon, because we decided to be freaking crazy and be what kicks off this season's Summer at the Movies. We decided to say fuck it and just start the season. And I think, personally, in my opinion, I think we're starting season 5 of Summer at the Movies off with a rather strong one, I think.
I mean, I don't think you can beat a dub that, even like 6 months ago we would have said was never going to happen? Yeah, because this one... Okay, so the movie came out, 3 years ago? And then yeah, that sounds right.
This year, it got a dub.
Yep. And famously is part of a style that many deemed undubbable.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, in case you haven't figured out from the big screen in front of you, we're talking about The Night is Short, Walk On Girl.
Yes.
The latest in another trip to the well of things adapted from Tomihiko Morimi books by Masaki Yuasa.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun time. Steph, tell me, because I think you were on that trip. Did you go to the premiere of it when it was at A-Fest that year we all went?
No, I didn't get to see Night is Short. I think there was something else going on at the same time.
Oh, I did.
I think it was... God, was that the first A-Fest we went to? Because you also was a guest there, actually.
I think so far this is the only A-Fest I've been to. Maybe?
Oh, yeah. Because we've gone to A-Fest, I think, 3 years.
A bunch of you have gone several times. I think this is
I think this is the only one that you went. Yeah, and you were one of... No, you weren't one of the motherfuckers who decided to surprise us. We planned this with you. It was Noah and Hardy.
No, I enabled the people who are surprising
you. Enabled them, so you're the reason why we could say, God damn it.
Exactly.
But no, I did not get to see the screening for Night is Short during A-Fest. How I did see it was you and your girlfriend were having an little anniversary party at your place, and this is while I was still in Quincy, and we watched this movie. That's how I got introduced to it.
Yeah, I think this is the 6th time I've seen this movie now. Maybe 5th. Yeah, 6th time.
This is only the 2nd, unfortunately.
I think this is now officially one of the movies I've seen the most.
I mean, good reason for it. It's so much fun.
It's a great movie.
Oh.
But yes, this is still. So yes, this is once again. This is the quasi sequel to Tommy Galaxy. No one was expecting. Also directed by Masaki Yuasa. Also adapted from a Tomihiko Morimi novel. Also has character designs by Yusuke Nakamura. Fun fact: I learned this was not intentional. Like an adaptation of this movie had been kicking around for a while, and it basically ended up in Science Saru's lap, kind of by chance, apparently.
Oh, I'm glad it did, though.
I know. I'd be very disappointed if it wasn't, but I found it very funny that like, in actual internal matters, like this kind of ended up being an accident. But a part of me, on the outside, it's like, well, of course they got the Tatami Galaxy crew to adapt this. Look at it.
I mean, if it was anyone else,
it's even set at the same school. Of course they got it.
If it was anyone else who adapted this, like.
Be a hard act to follow.
It'd be a hard act to follow. And I mean, now, I have to say this. I haven't seen all of Tatami Galaxy. I've only seen a few episodes of it. And unfortunately, Tatami Galaxy does not have a dub at the time of its recording. I'm very sad that it doesn't. Like... It's like, can you
one of
imagine?
It's one of those things... Well, that's the thing is that... Well, that's why I'm surprised this exists, because I know there was hopes once Funimation decided to do a physical release of Tatami Galaxy that they might dub it.
Yeah.
And when it didn't, I know certainly, on my end, it was kind of like, well, I understand that because the lead character talks at about 3 million miles an hour.
Oh my god.
And that is just, like, he talks at, like, that would be physically difficult to reproduce by a human levels of speed. So I just kind of...
Someone came close with this movie, though.
This feels... If you're going to do a trial run, this is good, because he's not quite that rapid fire, the lead senpai in here. But, like, if you kind of want a test run of, like, can we dub this? Is it going to sound completely awful?
Yeah. Listen. All I'm going to say is this. Funimation, you recently outsourced a dub to this recording studio. You should do the same for Tatami Galaxy. I don't care that at the time of recording this, that Tatami Galaxy is going to come out on the Essentials line all of a sudden. I don't care. Do it again.
I'll buy it a second time.
But I'll buy it a second time. That's fine.
I bought Nichijou when you dubbed that by surprise a second time.
I know. But anyway, what is the movie about?
I'm glad you asked. Taken from the lovely product page on All the Anime, who released this movie in the UK. Senpai is a man smitten with his inscrutable junior, the girl with black hair. Note for you at home, these are the names of the characters in this show, this movie. Like, they do not have names. That's a thing with this guy.
Yep.
Anyways, although he plans to woo her by engineering a series of coincidental encounters, he
by chance. Chance. Sorry. I had to.
I mean, yes, right?
I mean, yes.
By chance.
Still. Chance.
He reckons with the exploratory nature of this girl. She roams through an abstract, bustling night in Kyoto, from pub crawls to festivals, book fairs to impromptu musical performances. The night is short, and there's so much to take in. How can Senpai possibly grab the attention of the apple of his eye? Which makes this all sound way more normal than it is.
Yeah, it's the plot summary makes it sound like your typical, like, rom-com kind of deal. It's more than that.
Oh, yeah.
So much more.
Oh, indeed it is.
Oh, man.
This movie.
This movie. I love it so much.
It's very good. Anyways, do we want to start talking about the dub? So we can explain why the movie's so good?
Like, we could sit here and gush about it, but, like, we can't exactly... We'll just end up rambling for like 2 hours, and that's not what we want.
No.
No.
We do value your time, listeners. Don't let some of the 4-hour episodes trick you to think otherwise.
We can be long-winded, but like sometimes we will be concise, I think.
We can do it. It's just, do we decide to do it that day?
God damn it. I'm very happy right now. I haven't gotten to done a solo episode with you yet, so this makes me happy.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh.
But anyway, where do we start?
Well, let's start with our ADR crew. Our director and our scriptwriter, who in this case are the same person. This is an NYAV post
Yay!
production. So hey, hey Steph, take a guess. Who do you think is directing this?
Well, you have a 50-50 shot typically within
Yeah,
my
pretty
AV
much.
post. well, no, you can't really say that anymore within my AV post. Because there are a couple of, like, new directors in their arsenal that they grab sometimes.
This is true, but a part of me always feels like that at least for, like, G-Kid distributed movies that get dubbed by NYAV Post,
yes,
it's still usually one of...
You usually have a 50-50 shot there.
Yeah.
Is it Stephanie or Michael? I wonder which one.
Oh, let's flip the coin and see.
Heads or tails?
It's Stephanie. Stephanie Sheh.
Great.
Stephanie Sheh, who's handling both director and scriptwriting duties on this, and who's worked on other dubs such as My Miracle, Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin, and Ride Your Wave. Surprisingly, in this one, she has not cast herself in a major role, which I know that's fairly common in this day and age, but it was very funny where for a while it was like, well, we gotta dub this movie. May as well start it.
Yeah, like, admittedly, I kind of like nowadays that directors don't throw themselves in major roles as often anymore, which is great.
No, that's one of those things where I sometimes suspect that was a function of like maybe like quick turnarounds of like, oh, I need a good actor in this role.
Right.
Well, I'm a good actor.
Yeah, usually, or if like there's a character that would actually fit the actor who also happens to be the director, like.
Oh yeah, I think we joke about Stephanie and Michael Cinder Nicholas casting themselves in their own movies, but like they're good casting usually.
No,
like, they're not
usually
just
they're
throwing
really
themselves in
good.
there for no reason.
God damn it! In this case.
Oh yeah, so fun fact for you at home: they do Stephanie and Michael do appear in here, not as major characters, but at one point in the third quarter of the movie, they witness a musical number between Princess Daruma, who will explain what that's all about later, and a guy playing a weird pervert from Tatami Galaxy.
Yep.
And they are played by Stephanie and Michael
Cinder Nicholas.
They have a song. It is
It's so fun. I love it. God.
Stephanie, you're more into musical theater than I am. Are these songs good? Like they're hilarious, but I can't tell if they're good.
The songs in general. So first of all, from an adaptive standpoint, something like this probably isn't easy.
No.
But how the songs were adapted, and considering the story about who wrote the songs to begin with in this movie, I think it actually really works because it's a mix of like musical, sometimes operatic at times, depending on which character is singing. Mm-hmm. And it also comes off as a bit amateurish, which is actually the point. Mm-hmm. So I actually think it works very well, honestly, in terms of the songs. And I just couldn't stop laughing during them. They're so good.
No, I agree.
Oh, God.
I love the musical numbers because every time I watch this movie, I always forget they're coming until they arrive. And it's like, oh right, this turns into a musical for like 30 minutes, doesn't it?
I haven't seen this movie in a few years, and I completely forgot that there were musical numbers for this. And the second I heard Stephanie and Michael start the first song, I'm like, I forgot. I'm gonna just die now of laughter. It's great. I'm just like, shit.
No, it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
and I'd say that a lot about the dub in general. I thought this was like this feels like it'd be a challenging movie to adapt and dub. Anyways,
I mean, 100%, and especially considering this is the not necessarily direct sequel, but like pseudo sequel to Tatami Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Like, again, I've only seen a few episodes, but based on my knowledge of that, it's like Tatami Galaxy is difficult in and of itself. This would be almost a similar caliber. It's a bit, the movie itself in terms of like the pace and the tone of it is a bit more toned down, slightly for probably like a wider audience to understand a bit better, which is honestly, it's a good thing. Because if you go rapid fire, like you were saying with the lead character for Tatami Galaxy, you're gonna lose people very quickly.
I think I know people who like have kind of been put off because like he's talking so quickly. I remember for the longest time I wanted to get a dub just because it meant that I could enjoy all the fun visuals and not have to look at the rapid fire subtitles throttling across the screen.
Right, and I actually enjoyed the visuals on this. Again, I may have only seen like 3, maybe 4 episodes of Tatami Galaxy. But you can attest to this. I spotted one thing during the festival portion, and I was like, oh my god, I've seen this in Tatami Galaxy, and your response was like, yep.
So it's this little weird lumpy bear looking thing, right?
No, it was the
that
doll.
Oh,
it was the doll. It was the doll in like this 18+ display kind of thing.
Yep.
And I was like, I know that reference. I know that reference. And then I when in terms of Michael's character, I'm like, I understand this one now. I understand this because I saw it in like the first episode of Tatami Galaxy. I understand this character now. It's great. Like, oh my god. No, the directing and I think the writing are solid considering what this film is and the material that's involved with it. Like, 100%. I was rolling on the floor laughing my ass off almost the entire time. And I told you this before we started recording. Like, it's been a while since, in this case a film, but a dub has put a huge ass grin on my face, and I just got such a kick out of it. I just love this. It's so much fun.
Oh, it's an absolute blast. Oh. You can tell they had a lot of fun making this. You can tell a lot of care was put into it. Mm-hmm. Also, it has horrible fish puns, which is a great way to get me personally to like your movie. I don't know about other people, but I'll like it.
Shit. Like, and I know this is probably gonna come in later, much later, but when we talk about the senpai, holy fucking shit. Like, the direction and the fun little quirks in the writing for the senpai in particular, oh my god. Kudos to Stephanie on that, honestly.
No, that's something I appreciate, because I think like the senpai here and also the lead character in Tatami Galaxy, who he's not the same dude as, but they're very clearly like similar.
They're parallel. Supposed to be
very
parallel.
I think the biggest difference is senpai's kind of more of a loser.
Yes.
Like Tatami Galaxy tries his best despite what other people are doing to him. Senpai just kind of makes his own trouble. Yeah,
senpai just kind of shit happens to him.
But I think they're both written in a really like specific and distinctive way, and right. I think Stephanie did a really good job of like capturing that in a way where it didn't feel like Kelm was doing an imitation of the Japanese track, but it felt very much like, yeah, this is what this guy would sound like in English.
Yeah, like it made it a very accessible for an English-speaking audience, 100%. And the interactions and the dynamics between like specific characters are so much fun too. Like, the black-haired girl and the senpai are so fucking cute. What's another good dynamic? Hanaki and Higuchi. They're also a fun dynamic. And then you have, I'm looking at the list. You have the god of used book markets, that little shit gremlin. And his interactions, whether it's with the senpai or the black-haired girl, those are fun. Like, there's a lot of fun dynamics, and the voices are just so different from each other. It blends really well, I think.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's just well put together all around.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I feel like I see like clear. I understand why Geek Kids keep going back to NYAV Post. Like, it's clearly just like they make good material. They're gonna take it seriously. Mm-hmm. And I think they do a good job of being aware of the fact of, like, oh, this is going to go into movie theaters, this is going to go into major streaming services. Right. Because, like, most of the people working on this come from the anime world, but I think they do a very good job of being aware of, like, oh, people who don't necessarily watch anime might see this. Mm-hmm. And doing it in a way where it doesn't feel too... they're not afraid to, like, embrace kind of, like, the weirder aspects of it, but still do it in a way where it's like, yeah, mom and dad might throw this on because it comes up on, like, their recommendation list on whatever streaming service they use, but they're not... Like, if they're going to be put off for it, it's because the movie was never for them in the first place, not because there's something weird about the dub.
Yeah, and what also helps, I think, is... At this point, NYAV Post has a proven track record of how much attention to detail they give to these dubs. Like... You can give, like, a couple, like, two very fairly recent examples Tokyo Godfathers, and with the character of Hana in particular.
Oh, yeah.
And then you also have Great Pretender, and the expansive, like, ethnicities that are thrown in there. Like, NYAV Post knows what they're doing, which is great. And considering all of, like, the little, intricities? No. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Eccentricities?
Eccentricities. Thank you. That are involved in this film, and how crazy it can and fast-paced it can be. Like, they didn't skimp on this. Like, they made it work very well and made it so accessible to English audiences, and it's just so much fun.
It's a good time.
It's a very good time. Like, A+. A+.
Oh, absolutely. This is like... I don't know if my mother would enjoy this movie, but I feel like I could at least put it on and she would at least, like, nod politely and not have a bad time. That makes sense?
I feel like my mom might appreciate it, but she might get a little confused by some of the pieces. Like, oh god, I know we're talking about it later, the Johnnies.
Oh,
She would be confused!
I have words about Johnny.
Oh,
We'll get
Johnny.
to him.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Shit.
But on that note, so we can talk about Johnny later, shall we get to the cast?
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it.
We have some characters to discuss for you. First off, we have... I was gonna say we have a bunch of weirdos, but that's the whole cast. None of these people are normal.
But let's say there's no such thing as normalcy in this film.
The normal people are the little bystanders. We don't follow around.
Yeah, they're just in the back. It's fine.
But for this, start us off. We have two extreme weirdos and one god ?
Gremlin. I call him a gremlin child.
Yeah, that
honestly.
that too. We have Toto. He is a middle-aged man. He wears a variety of hats. He has a creepy mustache, and he collects classic Japanese erotic prints.
He's also a perv.
He's a huge perv.
He tries to grope the black-haired girl so early on.
He lets you know exactly who he is early on. Also, he owns a koi farm, but he's very depressed because a tornado came by last year and scooped up all of his koi.
Yeah. And he's so depressed that he missed out on the most important day of his daughter's life, which is the wedding that's at the start of the film.
Yep.
So, like, everything, weirdly enough, in this film is connected to each other. Which is one, I think, one of the larger overarching themes a little bit in the film, too, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with, our wonderful sad old man that we're also going to talk about.
Mr. Rihaku. He is a loan shark. He is inordinately wealthy. He travels around on a little 3-story train that apparently, I guess, just has a private set of tracks going around Kyoto.
I thought it was a river boat because I thought it was in the river at one point. I don't remember.
Oh no, it's in like a little like sideaway that does have water at the bottom of it. But
but it is a train like thing. That's why I was very confused. I'm like, it looks like it should be a boat.
This is my all of this author's works are all set in the same, like they're all set in Kyoto, and I have a feeling it's one of these things of like wherever they are at that point is definitely a real part of Kyoto, and I'm sure if I went there I could see like, that is what this is.
Probably.
But having never been to Kyoto, I'm a bit lost on it. But anyways, he is a sad old man because his heart is empty. He has a lot of money but not a lot of friends.
Yep.
So he just kind of antagonizes people for his own amusement.
Yep. Steals underwear.
Steals underwear, hoards books,
challenges people to drinking games,
and making people eat extremely spicy food for his own amusement.
Yes, where the winner gets one of the rarest books in his collection,
exactly.
A fucking picture book about a train.
No, they could pick any book from his collection. It's just
fair.
Senpai wants.
It's just Senpai wants that one.
He was supposed to go in there to get erotic art prints for Toto, but
and discovers he has what the fuck is it? Ratum-tum-tum?
Ratatatam.
Ratatatum. That's the name of the picture book.
It's about a little train.
It's about a train. Yep.
I'm assuming that's probably like the onomatopoeia for like. That's like chugga 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 in Japanese, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of books.
Oh, speaking of books, yes, we have the god of used book markets. He is a little troll who basically goes around stealing price tags from used books so he can use them to make all the books in Rihaku's hoarded collection fly away back to the book market so people can buy them again. Because he's not against people buying books, he's against people hoarding books. Books should remain in circulation so more people can enjoy them. People who have seen Tatami Galaxy will of course note that he appears to be a little delinquent version of Ozu, the lead character's friend/nemesis.
I thought going back into this movie, I was like, is this Ozu? Are we getting an Ozu right now? And then he said he was the god of used book markets. I'm like, oh, that's okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not Ozu, but this is
it's not directly Ozu, but it's supposed to be the surrogate Ozu.
Exactly. To the point where I believe in the Japanese, like, he has the same voice actor Ozu has in English.
I think that sounds about right.
At least it sounds the same. So if it's not the same actor, they're clearly going for like the same character type.
No, they must have.
Anywho, playing these characters, as Toto, we have Doug Erholtz, who you know for such roles as Kenneth L. Moley Archibald in Fate Zero, Jean-Pierre Polnareff in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Ah, yes.
And of course, he plays Zenigata in most of the modern dubs of Lupin III. Rihaku is played by Frank Todaro, who you know for such roles as Rakshas in Berserk, Rodrigo in Dragon Quest: Your Story, and apparently he plays Starscream on the current Transformer cartoons, which I'm happy about.
That's amazing.
Good for you. You're the best character.
This last one, I don't know who this person is.
I do a little bit. The god of the used book markets is played by Dino Andrade.
Yeah.
He's mostly done a lot of like Western and cartoons and video games.
Okay.
For anime, he's Cat in Bungo and Alchemist, and what I actually know him from is he's Willy in Motherfuckers, MFKZ, which we just covered obviously a few months ago.
Right.
I think he's one of these like LA people who I think mostly does a lot of stuff that's not strictly anime. So
yeah, that makes sense.
From our end, he's a little more obscure, but I remember looking him up at the time when I was doing the MFKZ episode. He's got like a hefty background to him, just not in anime.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ugh. Excuse me.
Oh,
Steph,
man.
Steph, where should we start?
Oh, I don't know. Where should we start?
Doug Erholtz plays a really good creep.
Oh my god.
But the great thing about Toto is like he's a creep, but he's not a bullshitter when he's talking about alcohol or whatever. He's
just straightforward, brutally honest. It's great.
Yeah, like he does know what he's talking about.
Yes.
He's just also a huge pervert.
He's just also a huge pervert and kind of a pitiful human being.
You feel kind of bad for him.
You do feel kind of bad for him. You're just like, oh god, he's such a sad sap. But I don't know if I should care about him because he's just trying to cop a feel right now.
You feel for him because so many of his problems are relatable on some level.
Yes.
Have we all not metaphorically had a tornado come by and sweep up all the koi fish from our koi pond?
Ah, yes, I had one last week. It was awful.
Although his best moment is probably when the fish reappear and he just shoots up in bed.
Yep.
It's like, you're still alive after all this time.
He was so happy. It was so good. No, but freaking, I'm mostly more used to Doug just being these like suave like gentlemen, like a Polnareff or fucking Yuri from Arte. I'm a bit more used to Doug being the suave gentleman, almost borderline playboy. Toto is just a creep. Toto is just an absolute creep. It's funny.
Yeah, like performance wise, it's not very similar, but the vibe this gave the vibe this gave me was I'm blanking on his name, but the character he plays in Doro Hidoro, which is like the main antagonist's like weird like camp gay psychic.
Oh yeah,
and it's not really a similar performance, but it has that same kind of like
it's
over
kind
the
of
top quality.
Yeah,
there's a very strong like what you see is what you get aspect to both characters.
Oh, very much so, 100%. It's just so fun though. It's one of those things that you don't. like you're used to it's almost like, because there are actors who usually get like typecast as certain things, and I think Doug kind of, for the majority of it, will get typecast as the suave, like almost near playboy kind of person. But then you forget that people are actors, and Doug can pull shit like this. It's glorious, and it makes me wish, like, I kind of want more things like this. I think I need to catch up or finish whatever it is at this point. Dungeon Boonies, where Doug actually plays a general or lieutenant in like some army academy thing, and it's kind of like a melding of the two. Like if you took a Polnareff, a gentlemanly guy like Polnareff or Yuri from Arte, and you give it a bit more comedic twist like Toto, like it's a fun little happy marriage between the two, and it's fantastic. No, but goddamn it, Doug is just so funny. He's just freaking out about how depressed he is and how sad his life is. Oh my god. I will give you a pair of underwear, but you have to drink with me first and hear about my problems. The senpai's like, I just want underwear.
I hope you're ready to get sloshed.
I hope you're ready to get sloshed. Yup. And the senpai's just like, oh, do I have a choice? He's like, I could be doing anything else right now. But here I am, I'm desperate for some underwear because mine got fucking stolen.
I bet you're thinking all sorts of terrible things about us. No, I'm not. You're just projecting your own insecurities.
Yes! The senpai has some fun little, like, one-liners and quips. It's great. But yeah, Toto definitely, like, sets some fun moments and jokes up. He sets up a few pieces of the plot, too. Because you have the whole thing with Rihaku. And the whole drinking game and the fact that he's in debt and all this fun stuff. He also kind of helps set up the whole used book thing too, since he's after like old Japanese erotic books. Like he kind of helps mix like exposition dump a tiny bit, but also help set up the plot and push it forward a little more, especially for the senpai. To which poor senpai. Senpai just wants to find his lady and try and get her to notice him. That's all he wants. I'm sorry, in case you can't tell, I really love the senpai character. A lot.
Everybody says, will senpai notice me? No one ever asks, does anyone notice senpai?
Yeah, I know. Fuck. Does anyone ever notice senpai? He's just there.
The hokey light novel version of this movie is senpai hopes someone will notice him for once.
I know. Oh, what a coincidence. No, it was chance.
Just by chance.
Just by chance. Chance.
Chance.
Oh, I'm dying. Oh shit, and we haven't even talked about the other two characters.
I know. Let's talk about talk about Frank Todoro.
Yeah. He's a sad little old man.
But he's very evil.
Yeah. Like I actually really I like it cuz you can tell when you first are introduced to him that he is like this sad, lonely person, but he is very antagonistic. And he has so much fun doing it too. It's great.
No, he's you can tell he's another character who's just like clearly having a lot of fun.
No. Yeah,
like,
100%.
Real over the top. Well, not too like over the top, but in the sense of like he's almost kind of playing like the evil old man. Which I think makes it when you get to like that last scene with him and the black girl where he's kind of like pouring his heart out to her, like, you know, I have a lot of, I just, you know, I come from a lot of money, and that's what I was, you know, and you know,
I was bullied when I was younger, and so I decided to like buy security guards, and you can also buy love and all this fun stuff with it. But he kind of, it seemed like he kind of just was never truly happy.
Yeah, he's this real sense of kind of like he sort of like isolated himself to protect himself from pain, and now he's dealing with the bad end of that, which is that he's super isolated.
Yeah. He's super isolated, gets very sick, gets everybody else sick in the film, except for the black hair girl. Well, no, maybe she gets sick after the fact, but no, Frank Todoro is just, he's not the typical, like, crotchety old man, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
he's an old man, but he's, like, more sad and lonely, and he just tries to find ways to amuse himself and to give himself purpose, I think, is the right way to describe it. Because, like, when you learn about all that stuff towards the end with his interaction with the black-haired girl, you learn that he is that lonely guy, and it's just, like, all of the stuff, like, the whole drinking contest, the whole eating spicy, what was it, ponzu that they had to eat?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
I want to say it was ponzu. I could be
Is it
way
nabe,
off the mark.
Maybe nabe. I forget. I mean,
Oh, it was nabe.
totally-
It was nabe.
yeah,
You're right.
Nabe.
It's nabe. It was nabe. Like, and watching these 5 motherfuckers eat spicy nabe. Like, he finds ways to amuse himself, probably to suppress those feelings. Because, like, when he has the drinking contest with the black-haired girl, and it's the stark contrast between, like, life is so depressing and lonely. He's like, nah, life has so much meaning. There's no new things every day. Like, you can see it early on with the character. And I think, like, Frank does very well, especially in masking his inner loneliness, honestly, and in his insecurities, by trying to be this antagonistic asshole.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
It's good stuff. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have anything to add. Like, I think he once again, he's acting, and he plays the character really well.
Yep.
Shall we talk about
In Mini Ozu, basically.
Mini Ozu, little god of the used book market.
Like, legit, like, because the cast list that you sent to me, for those at home, Almon set up the cast list for this. He put in parentheses with the goddess used book markets, Mini Ozu. That's how he's referred to, is Mini Ozu. Oh my god. Again, I've only seen a few episodes of Tatami Galaxy, and it had been a few years since I've seen Japanese for this film. I'm so happy that Dino voices this character. This is exactly what I could picture in my head as to what this character could sound like. I love it. Such a gremlin. Oh my god.
It's so good. Like, this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, I think the dub did a job of kind of translating how Senpai talks to the English, and I think they did a really good job with this. The used book markets god / Ozu, like that kind of speech, because like you listen to him in the Japanese, it's like he sounds like a little gremlin,
right?
Even if you're not paying attention to what he's saying, he just sounds like a little gremlin,
right?
And I think Dino did a wonderful job of capturing that.
Yeah.
Also, he gets his own little part. He also gets his own little part where he has to like rattle off a bunch of information at high speed.
Yes, about all of how the books are connected to each other.
That is one of my favorite lines in the movie because it mentions somewhere like deep into it when it's talking about all the Japanese authors I don't recognize. It mentions that 2 of them are connected because they had a literary dispute.
Yeah.
Which me and my girlfriend decided that's the second best kind of dispute, second only to a naval dispute. Yeah. So we enjoyed that.
Yeah, like if anyone, like, Senpai has the most, like, fast-paced dialogue, like, you have to really, really hit it. But yeah, Dino definitely had that fun moment, and it's just, like, connecting, like, like, Alexander Dumas to fucking Osamu Dazai, or fucking, like, it was all over the place, and he had to, like, really, like, be on point with that. And thankfully, he didn't really have much for lip flaps to deal with that, so that would have made it 10 times harder.
The animators know it'll be easier on the voice actors so they don't have to match the lip flaps, and the animators don't have to draw the lip flaps, so everybody wins.
Yeah, the Senpai has that a little bit too, when he has his inner monologues, because the Senpai, his fast-paced moments are during those inner monologues, I think, mostly. So that gives a benefit to characters like, to actors like Dino, and, of course, the Senpai. to not have to worry about lip flaps, because Lord Almighty, if they had to match lip flaps, some of those moments, oh Lord, I would imagine it'd be like tons and tons of takes on those.
Oof, that'd be
torture.
That's when like takes start being constructed like in the edit or something like that.
No, yeah, like that's why I think I like Tatami Galaxy. Again, from what I've seen, I need to go back and finish Tatami Galaxy.
You should.
I need to. Tatami Galaxy has the similar like style in terms of their fast-paced talking, where it's a lot of most of the fast-paced stuff is, if I'm correct, is mostly internalized. It's not outward. So it's still fast-paced, but again, like you said earlier, it's physically possible to do it. It's a challenge, but it's physically possible to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people were I think years ago were like, the two shows that seemed undubbable basically would be Tatami Galaxy and Nichijou. If Nichijou proved anything, and if Grindr Short can prove anything, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Make our dreams come true, Funimation.
Funimation,
I'm asking you to.
Funimation, you outsource Bungo and Alchemist to NYAV Post. Y'all outsource to Tatami Galaxy. They'll fucking do it, and it better be with this cast. Because I love this cast.
The repeat characters, at least, I would definitely like to see come back.
Oh, 100%, because, I mean, you could have the black hair girl, the senpai, Hanaki, Higuchi. You could have God of Used Books come back as, like, Ozu. Like, there is potential here. Like, 100%.
Yeah. No, that'd be good. That'd be real good.
I would love it.
Let's see. See, anything else?
Like, did you want to add anything else about Dino?
Dino's just really fun. He I'm not so familiar with like a lot of Dino's work, just because he's been a lot of things like I have not watched as it happens.
Right, yeah. This is my first time hearing Dino in anything before, so.
Yeah, but he's clearly having a lot of fun playing this like obnoxious little gremlin who is technically working for good, but going about it in the most antagonizing way possible.
I love how he basically fucks with the senpai.
Well, he looks at senpai and he correctly astutes that senpai is kind of a mark, so he can mess with him to his own amusement.
The ice cream cone conveniently dropped right on the senpai.
Right on his crotch.
Mm-hmm. And especially, like, the second time that happens and he ends up getting blamed for, like, he bullied me and told me if I didn't do this, he would do bad things to me. And the senpai's like, you motherfucker.
While he's sitting there with his pants off and ice cream all over his underwear.
Because he had just cleaned the ice cream off of the pants the first time. So good. I love the interactions between these characters. It's so great. Like, the interaction between Dino and then, the senpai. Like, I can... Going back to Tatami Galaxy, I could see that dynamic work so fucking well.
They would be a very good
100%
combination.
100%. Like, I'll admit, I hadn't done this in forever. When I started watching Tatami Galaxy, this was months ago, for shits and giggles, I was like, if I were to do a dub predictions, I hadn't made predictions for shows in a long fucking time, but I did for Tatami Galaxy. And I think I still have that list, but, yo, like, this blows everything out of the water. Oh, yep. I found it. Oh my god, you want to know who I wrote down for Ozu? For funsies?
Who is it?
I have Aaron Dismuke, Matt Shimon, and Austin Tyndall.
Yeah.
I can see him. I can see it 100%. And then, because I have Akashi, who is the black-haired girl. I have the protagonist. I have Higuchi. I didn't get Hanaki, I don't think, yet. Oh, I have Joe Gasaki, who is Michael's character, essentially.
Who'd you have as actual Joe Gasaki?
Rico Fajardo. Yeah.
I'm mad about how well that works. I hope
know,
you're proud
right?
of yourself.
I know, right? Oh, I could keep going for some of these later if we want. I don't have anyone for Hanaki though. Like, I tried to stick it to the main cast, I think. But, anyway. Like, I will stay with Dino as Mini Ozu, thank you. I love it.
No, he's good.
It's so fun.
On that note, do we want to move on to our next cast section?
Yes, because Lord, this side story.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Boy.
So we have who are the mainish characters of the third of the four stories. We have the director of school festival operations. That is his name.
Yep.
He's like the guy who's supposed to be in charge of like the festival committee at this school.
But apparently rules it with an quote-unquote iron fist, and there are people against him and shit.
I don't think you got to this, but he briefly mentions, like, this headquarters used to be the library police's.
Yes.
And that's about an episode of Tatami Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't get to that.
Yeah, no, the library, like, I believe the idea is, like, this is at the same college that Tatami Galaxy is set at.
That's the sense I was getting, especially when you have, like, Michael St. Nicholas's character essentially as the knockoff Jogasaki, essentially, and then you have the little nods during the festival too.
Well, I think the joke is that musical number is supposed to be a recreation of something that might have actually happened.
Yeah, because there was the blow-up doll.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. Yep, that was a thing.
So they're clearly making fun of this character who doesn't show up in this movie but is in Tatami Galaxy. But yeah, so so there are certain things about this are kind of riffing on Tatami Galaxy, and if you've seen the show, you'll recognize it. If not, it's not that important. Like, the story will still make sense.
Which is why I need to go back and watch Tatami Galaxy, because I will appreciate it 10 times better.
But the director of festival operations kind of fills the role of the, like, surprisingly overly powerful student council, except in this case it's the guy who makes sure the yearly school festival runs smoothly.
Yeah, but also, side note, he likes to dress and drag.
Yeah.
That is very important in this.
He cross-dresses in his spare time to mess with people, because he's that kind of guy.
When he's introduced in the start of the movie, because he's introduced as a friend of the senpais, it's a throwaway line, you would think. It's not.
There are no throwaway lines in this movie. No. There's just things that pay off now and things that pay off in 20 minutes.
20 minutes at most, I think in this case, like 45 maybe.
Probably, yeah. We have him. We have Don Underwear.
Don Underwear.
How do we describe Don Underwear? Don Underwear is a theater student at the college, and last year at the school festival, he was sitting on a bench, like somewhere near one of the buildings, and there's a attractive lady sitting on the bench across from him, and all of a sudden some apples just start falling out of the sky.
Yep.
And while they're making eye contact, both of them get hit on the head with an apple at the same time. And Don Underwear is now convinced that this is a sign from fate, that is the lady he's going to end up with.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he could not think of anything charming to say at the time, so the lady left, and now he is putting on a guerrilla theater performance in an attempt to get famous enough that the girl will come back and say hi, and he can ask her out.
Yeah.
There's a small wrinkle to this problem.
Yeah.
The hot lady is the director in drag.
As you said, there's no such thing as throwaway lines in this movie.
This of course is I should note, this theater performance is a musical.
Yeah. And that's where Stephanie and Michael's characters come back into play.
Exactly. And helping him put on this musical is Noriko, who's his assistant.
Yep.
She's a very nice lady with red hair.
Yep.
She harbors a big old crush on Don Underwear. but she loves Don Underwear so much that she is willing to help him in this ridiculous exercise to find this other lady.
Oh yeah, and then it gets to the point where where Don Underwear is basically denied, not by the director, because the director at that point was just like, okay, why not? But actually by Senpai.
By Senpai
who just like fucking trapdoors the director.
And my favorite part being, he wasn't even trying to do it on purpose. He was just trying to get out from underneath the stage.
Right, because there was this whole ploy where he was just gonna, he was gonna prevent Don Underwear from having a love scene with the black-haired girl. 2, he decides, I'm gonna take his place so I can have a love scene with the black-haired girl. Like, the lengths that this senpai goes to get his lady to notice him are just unreal, and it's so great. But No, after the director ends up getting trapdoored thanks to Senpai, out of nowhere, those koi fish that Amon mentioned earlier that were owned by Toto,
They come back.
they come back. This
tornado.
is when they come back. And Dawn Underwear and Noriko have the apple moment, but with koi fish.
And then they sing a love song. It's very cute.
Yeah, and they get together. It's so fucking cute.
And then they both catch a cold.
And then they both catch a cold. They end up sick. Like,
Oops.
it's so cute though. That the whole festival arc with the musical numbers and stuff like that, because again, like I said earlier, like it's both a mix of like musical and operatic in terms of like styles, if that makes sense. But you can tell that this is an amateur theater troupe, which is the exact point. And it works so fucking well. But anyway, who voices these characters?
For voicing these characters, the director of School Festival Operations is voiced by Eddie Lee.
Yay!
Who knows in such roles as Executioner Jr. in Akudama Drive.
Yay!
Ariel in Makuya.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
And Shiro Kabuto in Mazinger Z Infinity.
Have not seen Mazinger Z.
Neither have I, but I like giant robots, so that's why I picked that one.
The most prominent one that I know him for in terms of recent stuff is definitely Akudama, though.
That's what I assumed, yeah.
Yeah. He was fun.
Oh, that's good. I need to catch up on that. I've been lazy.
Oh, Akudama was so fucking good.
I know. Andrew bothers me enough with it. I don't need two of you.
No, I won't pest you as much, but like I'm just here to say, watch Akudama Drive. That's it.
I will one day.
One day
in the future.
in the future.
Anyways, Don Underwear is played by Patrick Seitz, who you know for a billion things.
Yep.
Some of my favorites. He's Endeavor in My Hero Academia. He's Charles Beams in Eureka 7.
Yep.
He's Wolfgang Grimmer in Monster.
Oh, Grimmer, my heart.
The saddest nice boy.
The saddest nice boy. I love Grimmer. He's the best.
Poor guy. Anyways.
Poor man.
And Noriko is being played by Jennifer Roberts. This is Jennifer Roberts' first anime role, as far as I can tell.
That explains a lot, because that is another name I don't know, along with Dino.
No, she has done some video games and looks like some live action voiceover work. As far as like video games go, she played a few roles in the movie Rune 2. Sorry, the video game Rune 2. And apparently, I guess there's a One Punch Man video game, One Punch Man: A Hero Nobody Knows, and she plays like the female player character, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Or she voices that. I don't know what this game is, so I'm not sure if this is like a fighting game or maybe like some sort of mobile thing or something like that. But she's in that, so good for her.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello, Jennifer Roberts. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. I hope you get more stuff in the future.
Yes, me too.
Steph, would you like to start with whoever?
Oh my god. I'll start with Jennifer, because I honestly don't really have a lot of notes on her, to be honest. Because I think probably because it is a newer voice that I'm trying to like grasp it and understand. But she works very well, and I think she's a fun balance to Patrick and his character of Dawn Underwear, because Jennifer Roberts is a mix of like, if you had to give her a role in the theater world, she'd either be director, assistant director, or you could see her as a stage manager potentially. So she has a bit of an authoritative figure and authoritative voice to her, and I really, really like it. But when she just, first of all, her love for Dawn Underwear, when all things considered in the story, just comes out of left field.
Wait, I forgot to mention, why is Dawn Underwear called that?
Oh, right!
Because after he had his little apple incident, he went to a shrine and made a promise that he would not change his underwear until he found his would-be girlfriend again, and that's why people call him Dawn Underwear.
Yes.
And which really makes this woman being into him all the more impressive, because, ooh.
Yeah.
It has been a year, ladies and gentlemen.
It has been a...
He's been wearing that underwear for a long time.
But at least he's courteous by not putting his legs under the kotatsu. And he just still sits on his knees rather than putting his legs under the kotatsu. Oh, this character. No, but Noriko, I think, definitely has an authoritative voice and is like an authoritative figure, especially with the gorilla theater troupe. And I think Jennifer Roberts plays that very, very well. Again, like I was just saying before, her love for Dawn Underwear kind of comes out of left field. But this is like about an hour into the movie by this point, and if you're not already aware and, like, have resigned yourself to the fact that anything can fucking happen in this movie, I don't know what to tell you. Because anything can happen at this point in this movie. But yeah, especially with her song with Patrick and Dawn Underwear, it was so cute. Like, the two of them, they were, I think it's a fun balance and a fun contrast, because you have Dawn Underwear, who, I guess kind of going into Patrick a little bit, who is this gruff, like, he's a man's man kind of thing. Like, you can tell.
He's voiced by Patrick Seitz.
It's Patrick Seitz, for God's sake. We love him here. And you have Noriko, who is, like, okay. Patrick seems more like the traditionalist. And you can kind of tell with what Dawn Underwear writes for this play and this musical a little bit. And then you have Noriko, who's a bit more modern, if that makes sense. If you had to, if there was, like, two different, like, stereotypes or traits, like, Dawn Underwear would be, like, more of the traditional romantic kind of guy, and then you have Noriko, who's the more modern but also the romantic. Like, that's kind of the two main, like, character, like, types that you could probably categorize them in. And it's like, it's kind of like an, like, opposites attract situation with these two. And I think the two of them make that work very, very well.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think I like the, like, I think I agree. Like, I got the impression she seemed like she was the stage manager, I guess, for this roving guerrilla troupe who don't have an actual stage aside from the one they just build impromptu and in various places.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like she had that kind of authoritative to this, but there was, like, a softness to her. I also thought she sang her song really well.
It was so good.
I feel like I need to watch it again to check, but I feel like she's probably the most technically accomplished singer who appears in this movie.
Yes.
Which felt appropriate, because it felt like part of the joke is that, you know, Dawn Underwear is going this whole elaborate stage show for this lady who ends up being not even who he thought it was, and the whole time it's like your Kohei's in love with you, Dawn Underwear.
Yeah, it's kind of like Noriko, and maybe to a certain extent, as we talked about them earlier, Princess Dharma and the mock Jokusaki. Like, the three of them seem like they have experience in theater and in acting. Right? So
yeah,
when you hear them sing, they sound like a little bit more polished. They have a bit more experience compared to Dawn Underwear, the senpai, the black hair girl, and of course the director of the festival operations. Like, they don't have as much experience, and it shows, and it actually works.
Yeah, no, I agree. What else? Yeah, Jennifer and Patrick are just very cute together.
They're so adorable.
That little song at the end is just, it's like, aw.
It's like, aw. You just want the two of them to end up together, and they do.
You want to clap with the people in the audience.
Yeah, it's like, yes! I think when they were getting together, I think I screamed at my TV. I'm like, yes! Let's go! I did! It was so good!
Yeah, and by himself, Patrick's just very funny.
No, yeah. Like,
he is...
Again, gruff, like, man's man kind of deal, and also, like, traditionalist and romantic. It's kind of very cute.
I like that a little bit, because it feels like it's like a fun contrast to, Senpai and the Black Hair Girl story, where, again, it's like these two classmates who have feelings for each other, and rather than just say anything, they go about it in the most obtuse way possible.
Right. It's so enjoyable.
It's a lot. I like it.
So good.
What are your thoughts? Huh? Yeah.
On Eddie? Is that where you're gonna ask me?
Yeah, actually, that was where I was gonna go. Actually, ask. Yeah.
Oh boy. So, short version is I love it. I mean, surprise, surprise. This whole film is great. But Eddie specifically. So Eddie definitely has the authoritative voice down, because he is this big, like, figurehead with the festival operations, and you can hear that. But the tone of voice he has for that, and it goes back to, I think, again, the start of the film where the senpai introduces Eddie's character to the audience as not only the school festival operations director, but he loves dressing up as a girl. And once you know that small fact, Eddie's voice has a slight, you can tell that there's a slight, like he pitched up, but just slightly. It's very subtle, and it makes sense for the character. And, oh man, I bet Eddie had fun when he got to dress up as Lady Dharma. Like, now, to be fair, I think during Dawn Underwear's flashback and story of his interaction with who we find out later to be the director of school festivals, different voice to that character, at least it sounds like to me, because like there's small little giggles and like stuff like that during that. Obviously it doesn't sound like Eddie, so my assumption is, of course, this is just Dawn Underwear's delusions of who he thinks this is, which is good, I think, at hiding it a bit more, but also by that point it's trying to subtly hide that it is in fact the director. Because again, by that point, you still think that the comment about him dressing as a girl is just a throwaway thing. And I think that's to help keep up that little tidbit, which makes finding out that the director is in fact the girl that Dawn Underwear is looking for this whole fucking time all the more hilarious. Because it's just like, oh shit, like, when did this happen? Like, oh no, they said this at the beginning, that he likes to dress up as a woman. Like, and at that point, Eddie pitches up the voice a bit more, but still makes it obvious that it is the director, which works, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he plays that dual role well when it's required of him.
Yeah.
He's just very funny. I love him going around talking to his like little assistant, who is a combination chimpanzee on a Segway and a parrot.
Yes. The parrot's the one that actually speaks English, and then the guy on the Segway is just like making monkey noises. It's like, what? I forgot about that. I was like, shit.
That's a great thing about this movie. There could be a whole character that you'll forget about who's the weirdest thing in the world. It's like, I forgot that was here.
Yeah,
oh well.
Sounds about right. Accurate.
I just like how he plays off with Senpai a lot, because it's clearly like Senpai is his buddy, but he also thinks Senpai is clearly being very silly right now.
Yeah, he thinks Senpai is just being dumb, and it's like, why don't you just talk to her? Like, I love the bit at the beginning where both, because they're at the wedding reception, and at the table is the Senpai, the director, and Dawn Underwear. And essentially, like, there's a bit of a back and forth where, in Senpai's head, he's, like, doing an internal monologue of how he's going to get his lady's attention this time around. And try and move to phase 2, as he called it. And then you also have the director and Dawn Underwear. Like, it kind of comes off, and there is a joke in there. It's like, are you reading my mind? Like, they're, like, listening to him. It didn't confirm of, like, him, like, speaking out loud, but you can make the assumption. It's like, dude, you're talking out loud, you dumbass. But, like, both Eddie and Patrick are just like, what the fuck are you doing?
I like it because they correctly point out that Senpai is being he's going about this just like
the wrong way.
The absolute wrong way, but then when they're having their like little love scene on the stage, he completely points out, it's like, Dawn Underwear, what are you doing? A woman just poured your heart out to you.
Yes.
And you're going to continue to pursue this thing because an apple fell on your head?
Yes. Like, the Senpai suddenly turns into a complete hypocrite. It's great!
Senpai is a perfectly astute guy. He's just incapable of applying that to himself.
Yes, he's good at applying situations and things to other people around him, but he's awful at figuring shit out for himself when it comes to like what he wants.
Absolutely,
he'll awful at it.
It's not his strong suit.
No, it's not. It's not. He's awful at it. Like, oh god, it's so great. Oh.
Oh.
But what'd you think about Eddie, though?
He's very funny.
He's very funny.
He's funny. This is like well performed. His singing is like the right level of like not terrible but amateurish.
Right.
Which I appreciate. I think that's true for a lot of the characters in here, and I appreciate that they. I think by the time this comes out, the Beck episode will definitely have been out. But I talked in there a little bit about the importance of if you're doing music in a dub, not just having good singing, but also like good bad singing.
Right, and considering this seems more like an amateurish like theater troupe, it works really well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no one's like awful, but there is very much a sense of like, especially like they mentioned that like part of the reason there are so many people in jail in the library festival headquarters is because they keep arresting people, and so they just have to get more understudies. They
keep arresting the lead actress.
So I just find it very funny that like at this point it's like they're down to like the understudy to the understudy to the understudy.
Yeah,
and so like. It's not terrible. They're still part of the theater program, but these are not the people who are getting cast in the shows usually.
And then it gets to the black-haired girl who probably has who explicitly states she has no acting experience.
Yeah, she's just game to try it.
She's just like, I'm gonna take advantage of this. This is fate. I'm just gonna go for it. It's like, exactly. You do you, sweetie. It was so. But yeah, I think like in terms of the songs in particular, it's definitely a style choice to make it sound very amateurish, because that is the exact point for this.
Yeah, and I think that's really well executed,
right?
Here. Especially across like the show in general, but especially across these three, because they get what ends up being the bulk of the songs in that little section. So
yes, they have the bulk of the songs for the whole section.
They're also they're very funny songs.
Oh my god!
I like speaking of fish puns. Is it by chance or coincidence?
Yep. After Dawn Underwear and Noriko get hit by koi fish. Yep. I was like, oh, I appreciate that.
It's beautiful.
That was so dumb, but I love it. For this, I love it. Thank you, Stephanie.
It's good.
Oh man, it's so. Oh.
Yeah, this is a fun part of the movie, anyways, and I think like the three of them really help just. Put that all together.
Because by this point, there's essentially, I think, like 4 stories that are in the span of an hour-and-a-half movie. You have the first story, which is essentially the reception and like bar hopping. Then you have the used book market. You have the school festival, and then you have basically everybody coming down with a goddamn cold.
Yep.
So those are the 4 stories, and each of them, they connect to each other nicely, honestly. And how it transitions, because the whole through line is it's like this is the longest night in this world, and it just feels like it takes place in the span of a year, but it's not. Like they explicitly state it feels like it's been a year. It's like no, and because they have also the wristwatches too, and that's a big indicator of it as well. Because for everyone except for the black-haired girl. We see their wristwatches like going very, very quickly. Like time is marching on so fast.
Yeah, there's a lot about like time and experience of time and so on in here.
Yeah, and then you can also circle it back a bit to Rihaku as well, a little bit, and how he spent his time and just there's a lot to this movie.
I mean, the other reason people suggested Tatami Galaxy would be hard to dub is just this guy's books are dense.
Yeah.
And these, because another one of his books, Eccentric Family, is also based on one of his books, and that's obviously by like a very different creative team.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Eccentric Family is like all over the place, yeah.
And like you can see between, like I haven't had a chance to read any of his books, but you can see that like his books clearly have a lot going on in them, and I think this and Tatami Galaxy in particular really maintain that like kind of thematic denseness that's going through a lot of them. And I remember that's part of the reason people suggested it might be hard to dub. It's just like there is so much going on here.
Yeah, out of the 3, like Night is Short, Tatami, and Eccentric Family isn't dubbed either, actually.
I think this is the first thing, unless Penguin Highway didn't get a dub, did it?
No, it did. Penguin Highway got dubbed.
All right, so
it came out before this.
Yeah, that's also based on one of his books. So that would have been the first thing adapted from his stuff that got a dub.
Right. Like, I haven't seen Penguin Highway, so I don't know how like compared to everything else that I've seen, because I've watched Eccentric Family, I've seen this movie, I've seen a few episodes of Tatami Galaxy. I don't know how dense it is compared to those 3.
Neither do I. I haven't seen it either.
But I heard it can get freaking crazy though.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds about right though.
Yeah, but like something I appreciate about the dub here is that there is a lot of thematic denseness in here, but it
Yes.
does a good job of like, you know, you can still follow it. Like it's
Yeah.
not made obtuse or anything like that.
Yeah, there's still a very clear through line with some of the thematic pieces to it, like the sense of time, like sadness and loneliness, because that becomes a huge thing, especially in the second half of the film. The idea of romance and love, and then there's also like fate, coincidence, like coincidence versus fate. Like I heard a truck outside. I was like, the fuck. It's like I heard a boom. I'm like, huh? And anyway,
Trying to record in here, dang it.
rude. At least I don't have that fucking yellow Mustang here. That would go at the same goddamn time every fucking night.
Oh boy.
No, when we were recording Jellyfish the other night, Zen had a similar moment with another guy revving his engine
Oh
in
boy.
the parking lot. We when we had a small timeout moment, she's like, "I'm sorry if you heard that." And then I was like, "Oh, dude."
Oh, that's rough.
Like, I know the feeling. Every night at the same time, and always when I'm recording. Every
Alright.
fucking night. Anyway,
Never win.
never win. I win today though, except for when trucks go by. That's about it.
Let's see. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't know. I don't know if there's much else to add. Like, all three of these,
Yeah.
considering the story involved, it's the story that all three of these are primarily involved, is so much fun.
I know
Love
they're
it.
great.
I
It's
love
delightful.
it. Oh, are
Shep-
these next characters? Oh, more Tatami Galaxy references.
These are the three characters, major characters from this who are explicitly from Tatami Galaxy. We have Hanuki. She's like a dentist or dental hygienist student. I forget which.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in Tatami Galaxy. She is like she and Higuchi, who's I believe his gimmick is he's kind of like a permanent senior at the college. Like he's
Yeah,
actually
I
like,
think I
he's
remember
like
that.
he's like his 30s or 40s or something, but he's still technically a student there, so he just
Yeah.
kind of hangs around.
I think I
and
only
is-
briefly met Hanuki, and I think I'm trying to remember how many episodes I watched. 3, maybe. I think I briefly met her in episode 3, but
Yeah, I
Higuchi
thi-
was very prominent, like, from the beginning.
Yeah, they're like they're also college students.
Yeah.
They end up being pals with the black hair girl and kind of they go bar crawling with her.
Yep. They show her the ropes.
Exactly. But they're not the characters we're going to talk about. Well, we are going to talk about them. They're not what we're here for this section. Those of you who have not
The acid trip of Senpai's mind.
those of you who have not watched Tatami Galaxy and have not seen the movie yet for whatever reason are probably looking at the screen right now if you're watching this on YouTube and asking, Amon, what is this horrifying Dayglow cowboy who looks unnervingly like Woody from Toy Story doing here? What is this?
Yeah.
That is Johnny.
Say
I
hello
don't know- I
to
don't-
say hello to Johnny, everyone. Hi, Johnny.
I don't know if you hit the point in Tatami Galaxy where he shows up, Steph.
I
Did you?
don't think I did.
Right. Johnny is the personification of the male libido.
I remember you telling me that after the first time we watched it. I watched it because I watched it with you. I was like, "What the fuck is going?" Afterwards, I was like, "What is Johnny?" And I think there was a couple of your other friends there. They're like, "What the fuck?" And you had to explain it, and I'm just like, "Okay."
He in Tatami Galaxy and Night is Short World, Johnny is the personification of the human libido, which is why he spends so much of the parts of the movie that you see him at saying like, "Well, we should just do something about it."
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of being horny with no outlet. So
Yep.
let's do something.
That's why where you see Johnny is only in Senpai's fucking weird delusions in the
Pretty
like
much.
the last quarter of the movie.
Well, that's how he's using Tatami Galaxy too. He's just like when the protagonist is feeling sexually frustrated, Johnny shows up to harangue him about how he doesn't get laid.
Oh. Yes, I love it.
More, I'm simplifying a little because it's been a while since I've seen Tatami Galaxy, but he serves the same role there.
I'm about to say, if that's the role he served in this movie, I imagine that's nothing different for Tatami
Oh,
Galaxy.
absolutely. No, it's very much, it's the same idea.
Oh.
So that's Johnny.
That is amazing, and I love it.
playing these characters. Hanuki is being played by Kari Karanen. You know for such roles as playing Ichio Higuchi in Bungo Stray Dogs, Remy Kakiyasu in Dragon Pilot, and Casca in Berserk. Higuchi is being played by Paul Giet. I apologize, Paul, if I mispronounce your name. We're doing this on the fly. Who has played such roles as Nimzo in Dragon Quest Your Story, Gerard in Lupin III the First, and Iskola in Mobile Suit Gundam Narrative.
Okay.
And Johnny is being played by Ben Pronsky, who you know for playing Kamiyama in Cromarty High School, Ida in Fooly Cooly Alternative, and Benedict Blue in Violet Evergarden.
Right, okay. See, the other funny part with Johnny, though, and I think the first time I watched this movie, even though I was a little thrown off by it, I made the connection because, Almon, you've seen Eden of the East.
Yes.
I made the connection to that. I'm like, oh, I know where this is fucking going. I remember how this went now. I remembered, I was like, oh, wait, are they doing the same fucking thing that they did with the Johnnies in Eden of the East? And the answer was yes. Oh, God. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, that's Johnny.
Johnny.
I'm going to be honest, how Johnny was directed was going to play a very important part in what I thought about the dub of this movie. Because
so Johnny was the make it or break it point for you, not like...
It's not that it would have been a good dub, it's that Johnny is an absurd thing.
Yes.
And how well whoever they cast could pull that off was going to mean a lot to me.
I guess on that note, what do you think about Ben?
Beautiful, perfect.
You're like, I have no problems with this. I have no arguments against this.
I was very happy with this performance. Look, I like the cast here. Like, I would like it if they could dub Tatami Galaxy. I would like a lot of the repeat or similar characters to come back.
Absolutely.
But like, no, I absolutely would want Ben Prosky to come back and play Johnny in Tatami Galaxy. Like, he's the right level. I think in Tatami Galaxy, you're not even introduced to him on screen. It's just the main character is monologuing, and then someone with a way more shrill voice just like interjects partway through.
I might have run across that at least once, maybe.
And I don't think he shows up on screen initially that first time, but he shows up later. Because Johnny is your just angry little libido who wants to get laid and does not understand why you don't do something about that already. God damn it!
It's like, why don't you just go talk to her, you little shit?
Pretty much. But Johnny is in favor of actually doing something.
Yes.
Which leads to the awkward problem that Johnny might actually have a point here.
During the conference inside the senpai's head. Oh, that was amazing. Because you have all of the different senpais, to which, when we talk about the senpai, good on you for making them distinguishable, first of all, sir.
Oh, right, yeah. Definitely.
Second of all, whenever I heard Ben just pipe in, it was the greatest thing. It's like, but what about this? It's like, no, shut up.
Hey, we should have a say in this conversation, too.
No! We can't do that. God. And then all of a sudden here comes the big Johnny. It's like, what the fuck are you? Oh god, no. I really love Ben. I really love him as Johnny. It's... It makes the movie even more absurd. And that's just... It's great. I love it.
This is funny to me because prior to seeing it with you guys, it hadn't occurred because anyone else I'd seen this movie with had seen Tatami Galaxy, so it hadn't occurred to me what it would be like to watch this movie and suddenly just Johnny showing up and being like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right?
Why is Woody from Toy Story yelling about sex?
It makes me wonder because I know I talked about the Eden of the East Johnnies. It makes me wonder if it's either Eden of the East pulled that, is a fan of Tatami Galaxy and pulled that, or if it's just like in Japan in general, if that's a thing that they do.
I'm assuming that probably due to whatever like cross-cultural things is happening, Johnny is also just a slang word for penis in Japan.
That's what it sounds like.
And they're riffing on the fact that like that is a name.
Right.
So I'm assuming that's where that's coming from.
That's my assumption too. It makes the most sense. And I'm so happy that I remembered about Eden of the East and how that was a thing. And I made the connection when I first watched the movie. I was like, oh shit, I know where this is going. And everybody else in the room is just like, what? Everyone was so confused. And then you're in the corner, I think, and you're just smiling and laughing at like how we're all like just bewildered by this. I think I remember. Was that how it happened? I can't remember.
Something like that.
I think your girlfriend was making more snacks in the kitchen at the time. That's so good. Oh, I'm dying. Memories.
Memories.
Oh no, Ben is so fun. Ben is so much fun. Please dub to Tommy Galaxy and please let Ben come back as Johnny. Just do it.
Please, let us.
Please, Funimation. Outsource it. Again, outsource it at NYAV Post. And if they go and reuse people from this film into that, I won't be mad. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, you want to know who, my earlier, like, discussion of predictions? I had some for Higuchi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chris Wakamp and David Wald.
Those would be good.
This would be fun.
David Wald would be really good.
David Wald would be fun, right?
He could well, more so into Tommy Galaxy. Like Higuchi is he's very like kind of mentory.
Right.
I feel like David would sell that really well.
But I think at the same time, like considering, and this kind of goes, I guess, into Paul's performance. He's a bit more like dignified, if that makes sense. And
one of my favorite jokes in this is when they're having like the hot Nabu eating contest.
Yeah.
And he spends most of it just completely no-selling the fact that any of this food is even remotely spicy.
Yes.
And like that's not voice acting, but that's a key part of like Higuchi's like just aura. Like he so often seems like he is not even above it all. It does not affect him.
Yeah, he seems so like nonchalant about shit. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of, like, dignified. At least he appears to be dignified. That's, like, the aura, as you said, like, presence that he has. That's why I was, like, maybe Chris Wakamp if Tatami Galaxy was a thing. But, no, Paul is so much fun. It's like the voice of not a gentle giant. It's, it's like a calming presence.
Exactly. When Higuchi like explains what's going on, you feel like, yeah, I can listen to him. He knows what's up.
Yeah, like this man knows what's happening.
He's not gonna mess with me. He's gonna be upfront about it.
Right.
Even if it's like, well, I'm glad she's here because I'm completely useless at taking care of people. You would starve.
Yes. He seems like the most put together person, but in actuality, he's not.
Well, as we can see from his house.
Oh, absolutely.
Which appears to be 8 billion garbage bags, a space heater, and a hammock.
And a hammock that he just sits there and swings while having a cold. Just like, it's fine.
Exactly.
No worries. And he lives in a rundown apartment building, too.
Yes.
Because, like, during that whole thing with the colds and stuff like that, and when the black hair girl and Hanuki go to visit him, the whole building is just shaking with the wind. It's like, oh my god. But no, I really love Paul as Higuchi. Like, it's the exact kind of voice and presence that I would expect Higuchi to have.
Mm-hmm. There's something just very, like, sort of, zen and authoritative.
Right! Like, he seems like you said, you said, because in Tatami Galaxy, he's kind of like a mentor figure in a way. And that does translate here as well. Like, because him and Hanuki take the black hair girl under their wing when they go bar hopping. Like, that whole mentor aspect is there. I love it.
Yeah, no. These are the older friends you want to have.
Yes.
They'll show you where the good bars are.
Oh, 100%. They'll show you the good shit. They will make but they will make sure you get home safely.
Exactly.
They will take you out on the town, have fun, get you fucking wasted, but they'll make sure you get home safely. Like,
let's see. Yeah, Paul just like he's like he's got this sort of zen dignity, and he's very funny.
Yeah.
I liked Carrie's performance a lot for similar reasons. The kind of the moment of the movie for me that always feels like, okay, this is kind of the This is really dumb, but the part I always remember from Hanuki is when they're showing to the blacker girl how to crash a party correctly.
Yes.
And she just like meets some random guy and goes, "Yay! Are you drinking?" It just says "yay" incessantly until he basically agrees to like take her wherever she's going.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like, this feels like this is the little moment that's gonna be like, if they nail this, then it's a good performance.
And there it is.
And I liked it. She did those yays very, very well. I was very happy with that.
It was so cute.
Yeah, she's like Hanuki is kind of like the cool older person in a very different way from Higuchi, but I thought Carrie like just portrayed that very well. It's like, yeah, this is the person you would want to hang out with on a fun night on the town.
It's kind of like either the cool older sister or the cool best friend.
Exactly. She's just great. She's a lot of fun.
No, yeah, I love Carrie. She's so chipper and full of energy. Mm-hmm. Especially in the more comedic moments. But then when she's not hamming it up, the whole yay, she is another mentor figure, but like you said, it's different from Higuchi. Like she's like I see it as like the big sister in a way.
Oh, definitely.
And it's enough of a contrast from Higuchi that Carrie makes it work very, very well. So she has like a bit of maturity to her, and I really do like it. God, what's another fun one? When she gets sick. Oh, Hanuki. When she first gets sick during the used book market, she's just chilling. She's just chilling under the kotatsu with Dawn underwear because Higuchi has left by this point. And she's just like, such a romantic. Shit like that. He's like, oh, and it's like, I don't know if that's gonna work, but she's very sweet and mature, but at the same time she will like be the bluntest human being in the whole universe. She'll tell it like it is, and
she's not gonna be mean, but she's not gonna sugarcoat it either.
No, she'll tell it like it is. Like Hanuki tells this shit like it is, and I love Carrie so much for that because it just comes off so well, so well. No, all of these performances are so fucking fun. Oh my god.
They're just... I mean, we keep saying bring the cast back if you done to Tatami Galaxy, but no, please do.
Please, actually. Funimation, again, I will say this again, Funimation, you outsource Bungo and Alchemist, outsource Tatami Galaxy.
Look, if it's some weird technical issue, like they lost like the music and effects track for something this recent, which would be very depressing. If it's something like that, I understand, but if you're in a position to do it, please do it.
Please
do it.
Please. Like, this film makes it seem possible. You have no excuse not to do it now, so... There's an actual, like, established cast for some of the characters that cross into Tatami Galaxy, so there you go.
So Funimation like pulls in like the streaming numbers for this and show from whoever like owns both his movies in Japan is like, see, people will watch it. We can do this.
Yeah, bring in the HBO Max. Bring the HBO Max numbers and let's go.
Exactly.
Cause side note, G-Kids re-released this fucking thing on Blu-ray. It's stuck in HBO Max jail.
I suspect well, I'll get into this later, but I suspect we'll see a Blu-ray at some point.
I hope so, because I have it, but I will buy a second copy. 100%.
Based on what I know about this, HBO Max probably has like some short-term exclusivity contract, but once that's up, I assume they're going to put out a new Blu-ray with the dub on it. Like, I doubt that's going to stay on there as the only place it's available, barring like G-Kids just imploding in the next year or two, which seems very unlikely.
Right. So, we'll see, though.
Yeah. Anyways, do you have anything else to
add? Aside from what I've already said about how they should dub Tatami Galaxy with this cast? No, I don't. Unless you have something to add.
You're all wonderful. I hope you get to play these characters again, because you're great as them.
It's so fun. Oh, yay! Yay, I'm excited now. I have been waiting the whole time to talk about this.
Well, yeah, we gotta to close us off. We gotta talk about our leads.
Oh, I love
We
it.
have the black-haired girl and Senpai.
Oh, Senpai.
The black-haired girl, she is youthful, she is invigorated, she is adventurous, she loves trying out new things. She's always just going straight on ahead into whatever new interesting has come across, and caring not if whether or not people can keep up or not.
Again, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier about her versus Rihaku and their views on life.
And Senpai is an older classmate of hers who has the hots for her and has enacted the... See, I feel for Senpai because this is definitely how, like, high school me would have gone about this because I also didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, yep, I see it.
It's like, well, I don't... You fear rejection too much to be open about it, so you try and just be like, I'll just hang out, I'll just be there a lot. That'll go somewhere, right? And then when we feel comfortable, we can move on to phase 2, where we talk to her. Phase 2 never happens, by the way. That's the problem with this plan. You never feel like you've hit that point yet.
Well, he's at least on the right track by the end of the film, though.
Yeah, no, but by the end of the film, he actually decides to make a move, which is why things turn out.
Yeah, he decides to stop being an idiot.
Exactly.
It's just so good. Oh, God.
And in the attempt to try to impress this lady, he gets himself into all sorts of trouble.
Oh, my God. So much trouble. He loses his underwear. He ends up with ice cream as a dick for some reason twice. He has to go through spicy hell to get a goddamn picture book of a train. He tries to stop his lady love from kissing another man and tries to take his place in order to accomplish that for himself. He catches
fire briefly while doing that.
He fails, but then he gets sick and he contemplates his lonely existence. Like, this character goes through so much shit in the span of like 90 minutes.
But he is also responsible for maybe the funniest image in the movie, which is when the black-haired girl is leaving Rihaku's house on his way to him, and she has her little like image spot of like Bishi Senpai. Yes. Who's way prettier than actual Senpai is.
Yes.
Every time that comes up, I just laugh and laugh and laugh.
It's amazing. It's so fucking fun. Anyway.
Who's playing these characters, you may ask?
Yes, I would love to know.
Well, let me tell you.
Because I want to stop calling Senpai by Senpai.
Exactly. The black-haired girl is being played by Jackie Lastro.
Yay!
You know, she plays one of the platelets in Cells at Work. She is Komeko in Konosuba. And she plays Misa Ilioragu, I'm gonna guess, in Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Okay.
And Senpai is being played by Kellen Goff.
Yay!
You know, for a bunch of things, including Hoodlum in Akudama Drive.
Yes!
He plays a bunch of characters in JoJo's. I'm gonna prick out that he plays Emperor Crimson because that's clearly the also famous no one understands how King Crimson works stand-in for the anime.
But I don't care. Kellen is just amazing as that, by the way.
Emperor Crimson works because it's awesome.
Emperor Crimson works because he's amazing.
And I have no context for this because I'm not anywhere near caught up with Black Clover, and apparently he's in there playing what is credited as the Devil.
Oh,
and I love it. I love it when actors get credits and things. They're just like the Devil.
I stopped watching Black Clover a while ago, but I think I potentially know what character that could be. But
is this a character where Kellen breaks out his like deep rumbly monster voice?
True, but. If you want to go for another shonen favorite, we of course have Overhaul from My Hero.
Exactly.
So,
Steph, you clearly have a lot you want to say. Go ahead.
I'll start with Jackie. I love her. I love Jackie so much. I don't get to see and hear Jackie enough, honestly. But I'm so happy I got to see her in this. She's so precious. She's so sweet and bubbly and so much fun. And she gives the black-haired girl so much of a positive outlook on life. And Jackie just exudes that positivity all throughout the course of the film. Like, you love watching her whole night unfold, and just these random adventures and escapades just come out in front of her. I just love it so much. Like, she's so precious. I want to give her a hug. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just gushing right now.
No, I agree. This is a really good performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of what makes this movie work is the black hair girl is just such a fun, exciting. Like, you completely buy throughout the movie why like Senpai has a crush on this woman.
Yeah,
it's like, she's so fun. She's so energetic. She has such a wonderful outlook on life. It's like, of course you would fall in love with this woman. Look at her.
right.
And I think Jackie just does such a wonderful job of capturing that. It's like, yes, I want to see her like go on a bar crawl, go look for old books, and get roped into a guerrilla theater performance. Like, yes,
Like,
yes.
even though you can call the both of them the leads of this film, because you totally can, the black-haired girl is the one who really carries it through, in all honesty. And Jackie really carries the film through, and it's just so much fun, energy, and positivity. Oh, God, I love it so much. Oh. I'm dying right now. I'm dying.
Are you gonna be okay?
As much as I really love Jackie. Not even... It all took all of fucking 2 minutes. 2 minutes for me to fall in love with Kellen's senpai. And I was done and sold. That whole spiel at the beginning of the movie where he's talking about setting himself up with the black hair girl to make it like go from being a coincidence to fate, and the whole bit about like it was chance. I was just like, oh my god. Oh, because my thing is this. With Kellen, I was more introduced to him as an actor because of Overhaul, right? And I know he can pull off, like, menacing and tough characters like King Crimson. And then you have, as a precursor to this, you have Akudama Drive with Hoodlum. And holy... How much of Akudama Drive have you seen, or have you started it at all?
I've definitely seen the first episode. I've maybe seen the second episode, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so
I got to the part where they all get like their little neck bombs, basically.
So that is at least the end of the first episode. Even though it's brief, you see how hyperactive Hoodlum is. Yes,
he does a really good job playing a character named Hoodlum.
Oh my god. Hoodlum
like
is Hoodlum is like in a strong dub like that. Hoodlum is one of the highlights to me, honestly. Like,
no, it's very like that. That's what a hoodlum should sound like. That is correct.
It is correct. So like, I got to see more of a comedic side because even though it's a very drama action oriented show, Akudama, Hoodlum is more of a bit of like a comedic relief character to an extent. So I got to see more of Kellen's comedic chops. Right? And oh my god, it was great. But holy god! Oh, the amount of shit and intricacies Kellen has to pull off in the span of 90 minutes. Like, because we've alluded to a few of those points. Like, he has to very much go off the wall with, like, crazy voices all over the place. He has his fucking fever dream before Johnny shows up, where he has to basically voice different variations of himself. You also have, and on a technical aspect, you also have the fast-paced nature and dialogue that the senpai has. With, in this case, it being, like, internal monologues. That Kellen has to be, like, really quick on his toes. Oh my god. 2 minutes. That's all it fucking took for me to be sold on Kellen as the senpai. And I think when the cast was announced for the dub of this, he had mentioned that this is his first, like, romantic comedy lead as well. Mm-hmm. And as far as I know of, this is one of his first, like, actual lead characters, too. Mm-hmm. To which, good on you, first of all. Second of all, god damn it. Like, if this is not the best first lead you could possibly ask for, I don't know what is. Oh, God, I love every second of it. Like, I just... Kellen's performance as the senpai is probably one of the main reasons why I could not stop smiling throughout the whole fucking film. It's so much fun. He's having a blast. Like, oh my god. I keep gushing, I'm sorry.
Look. I started watching this dub. Mm-hmm. And I'd, like, put together kind of a cast list before, so I'd seen who was playing things. But when Senpai started talking, I just kind of realized, like, who does this place? I'm blanking on it. So I just briefly looked it up. Mm-hmm. And it was, like, Kellen Goff. And I immediately thought, why is Kellen Goff not famous? Why is he not
bigger than he actually should be at this point?
Yeah, why? It's like, why? Because I feel like, you know, anime voice acting, like, famous is a little bit relative to a certain extent. But right. I feel like, you know, you definitely have the people who are, like, Monica Rial, mm-hmm. Johnny Young Bosch, like people will go to cons to see them.
Right,
like,
there are people in the anime, there are actors in the anime community that you would quote unquote consider to be famous at this point.
Exactly, like there are legit names, and it was just like, why is Kellen Goff not there already?
He's just oh my god, he's very talented. Like, he can mask his voice like so dark and menacing, and then he can bring out this. And we'll throw Hoodlum in there because it's kind of in the similar vein, just a little less kooky. Like,
it's like, this is such a good this in the universe where, like, like anime dub roles got nominated for, like, you know, major acting awards that, like, your parents have heard of.
Right.
It's like, oh, Kellen Goff should be on the short list for that. Unquestionably for this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Look at how much ground he has to cover. Look at all he has to do. And like Ko carried this movie through so much different, like, you know, events and tones, mm-hmm. and, you know, sing a song where he has to keep trying to act like he is not deliberately,
yes,
like trying to look cool in front of his would-be girlfriend.
I mentioned the operatic parts of it. The senpai kind of had that a little bit. I think the senpai and, to an extent, Dawn Underwear had kind of more of the, like, operatic style to the singing, which works so fucking well. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Oh my god. Kellen blew. Oh. Because, again, I had predictions for Tatami Galaxy. He blew all those out of the fucking water. Like, I'm just like, okay, I don't want any of these ones that I thought. Give me Kellen for Tatami Galaxy. I don't care. Like, this is what I want now. I love it.
You know, because, like, when we did the Q&A episode, someone asked, like, you know, something about, like, you know, what's a show you'd like to see get dubbed and who would be the lead actor. And I picked Tatami Galaxy, and my pick for, like, you know, who in like, some of the general, like, Funimation acting pool would I want, I said Jerry Jewell.
Yeah, I remember that.
And if they dub this with Jerry Jewell, I would be fine with that. But if they get Kellen, like, I'm not going to complain about this. He can clearly do this. Like, this is good.
Like, we've said that it's Tatami Galaxy is viewed as possibly an undubbable series. Again, they meant the same thing with Nichijou, but Nichijou fucking happened. But if this film shows anything, it's very humanly possible. And especially if you give it to the right people. Kellen is the correct person to give this to. 100%. And considering some of the other work he's done, where there are very crazy aspects to those characters, and he's just knocked it out of the park, I think, like, every single time that I've watched him. Please. Funimation, please. Do us a solid. Please. Because I would love to see, I think it's 11 episodes, an 11-episode series of Kellen just going fucking batshit. I would want to see that. Please give that to me.
And I feel look, Kellen Goffey is in this, and he also plays like the big spider dad in Demon Slayer. Like, he has a level of vocal control I'm often just not used to seeing in like anime voice actors. Like this is the stuff that I associate with like, Frank Welker, who can play Fred Jones in Scooby-Doo, and also do like, impersonate like, animals growling. Like, he does so many animal voices. Kellen Goff feels like he's at that level, so I feel like, you could take something like Tatami Galaxy, which involves like an incredible amount of local performance out of the male lead, and I think he could do it.
No,
like, he
100%.
Could absolutely do it.
So long as he's given the right scripting and material, and as well as direction, because on a technical level, there are aspects, again, in Tatami Galaxy that would prove difficult. Like, so long as you balance that with the right direction and the right script work, like, he would be fucking fantastic as the protagonist in Tatami Galaxy. I can see it 100%. Like, oh, please. Kellen is so good. He's my favorite in this film. He is my favorite. I love it.
Let our dreams come true.
Please.
B, let Kellen be lead more things in general, clearly, but let him be the lead in that.
Let Kellen do more crazy things.
Because that feels like a role that lets Kellen just like do all the stuff he can do.
Oh my god.
And he deserves that.
Because again, Kellen has a wide like range on him, and it's all pretty much on full display here, minus maybe his villain roles that he's done. But oh, sweet baby Jesus. Jackie's also fantastic. I love her. I would love for her to come back for Tatami Galaxy as what's the parallel? Akashi. Yeah, that's the parallel for that character. But
I definitely want to see Jackie play the role where the calm-headed Akeshi notices a butterfly has landed on her and just freaks out for a second.
Yep, that'd be so much fun. And the two of them, like, I know we've been gushing about them individually. The two of them play off of each other so well.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh, they're great, and they're so cute. And by the end of it, when we were kind of talking about it a little bit, when Jackie starts realizing, oh, maybe this isn't by chance anymore. Like, and especially when she's visiting these people and they're asking about, like, if she knows what happened to Kellen. Like, it's easier for me to call them Jackie and Kellen at this point. Yeah. Like, they're asking, like, what happened to Senpai? Like, is he okay? He's been doing this and this and this. And she's just like, huh.
One of my favorite moments in the movie is when, like, Senpai expresses surprise that it's like, oh, what a coincidence, and she's just like, no, it's by chance.
That was so cute.
I love that little moment of, like, them reversing the
roles from the beginning. Yeah,
it's like this is gonna sound really corny, but it reminds me of the bit in the beginning of The Princess Bride where they're talking about how Wellesley is always like, as you wish.
Yep.
And at some point she realizes as you wish just means I love you.
Yes.
It's like this is
the same idea.
This is actually really romantic.
It
I'm
is.
enjoying this a lot.
As crazy as this movie is, it does have romantic elements, and it's just so when they really pull those out, it's so sweet. It really is. I love it so much. And then you have, speaking of the end, when they basically swap roles on that one, you also have Jackie, who just suddenly gets very flushed. She's like, I think I'm coming down with a cold. It was so cute. It was so precious. Because throughout that whole last quarter, she was saying, like, I think the cold god's forsaken me. They don't want me to get sick. And then she gets so red in the face. She's like, I think I'm coming down with a cold. It's so cute and so sweet. I love it. It's so precious to me. I love it. Please let them do more things. I want to see Jackie and Kellen do more things. They're so cute. I love it. Oh, God. We keep gushing about this movie. Oh my god. This is so fun.
This is probably one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to move on to final thoughts?
At this stage, we may as well, because it's either that or we're gonna keep gushing for like a couple more hours about how good Jackie and Kellen are.
It's the Jackie and Kellen fan corner.
Yes, part of two. party of two? Need more alcohol? Oh Jesus!
Like this is probably this has become one of my favorite movies. Like part of it is, I love Yuasa. I love his sensibility.
Yes.
I love what he. I love like I was like I said, I was very surprised to learn that like basically bringing the Tatami Galaxy crew back to adapt this was not like a planned thing that someone set out to make. It just kind of happened that way because I think like him and the crew, like I don't know about the specifics, but I do know like they got the same people to do the music back. There's awfully a lot of returning like cast in the Japanese track. There's a lot of like this is a reunion on some level for that crew, and I love so much about their sensibility and how they chose to adapt this story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this dub just does a wonderful job of capturing that. Like I know one of the reasons people pointed to the unlikeliness of like Tatami Galaxy getting a dub is just the whole show feels so niche. It feels like the kind of thing that doesn't get popular. Mm-hmm. And I think this movie has a little bit of that, but I think there's a difference of like this. It's easier to pitch someone on this in like a 90-minute to 2-hour movie rather than like even a like fairly short TV show.
Right, something like this can be a little bit more accessible for an English-speaking audience compared to Tatami Galaxy.
Exactly, and I like how just well this turned out, because this kind of feels like you can do this. Mm-hmm. And this feels like the kind of thing like you can do this and you can make it something that I think a lot of people can sit down and enjoy, even if looking at it they think, I don't know if I would enjoy this. I think it can bring out a lot of what is more accessible about it, and kind of make a lot of what might seem a little daunting be like it's not that daunting. Like you give it 5 minutes, you'll get into it. Yeah, you'll figure out what rhythm this is on, and you can jam to it too.
Yeah, even though there's a lot of crazy sensibilities, and it could, like you said, it could seem like a little niche to people. At its core, thematically speaking, like the themes of like coincidence versus fate, romance, the idea of time and loneliness, like there are some core themes that will resonate with people actually, and like it's the through line on those themes is very straightforward that you can follow along easily. It's just also a bunch of things happening at the same time, and oh my god, I love it. Oh,
so good.
God, so good. I love Yuasa things. I love Yuasa things too. I know typically Patrick's the Yuasa person here, and I'll admit I feel bad for taking this from him. He's gonna talk about another Yuasa thing, though.
That's true.
That's true. He gets to have his Yuasa this year, which is great. But this movie is just so it's fun, positive energy from start to finish, essentially. Like, you can't... Again, I said this earlier, and I'll say it again. I could not stop smiling the entire time from start to finish, and I kept like laughing my ass off, and I think almost screaming a couple of times. And I think my neighbors probably heard me and might have been concerned. I don't know. Like, oh, I love this movie so much. I'm sad that I originally missed when they did the premiere screening during A-Fest. But I'm so happy Amon got me to watch it when he did. I'm just like, oh my god, why did I miss this? Oh, and the dub. Oh, the dub. I love it.
It's so good.
It's so good. Like, if the sad fact turns out to be that we're never going to get a dub for Tatami Galaxy, I am content in knowing that this dub exists. Mm-hmm. Because it proves that it is possible. Because there are a lot of technical aspects involved with something like dubbing this, whether it's the directing and writing front, especially I definitely think the writing front was probably one of the more difficult aspects of it. Like in terms of like translation and adapting it and localization to try and make it accessible for those English-speaking audiences. Because while GKIDS is known for having a bunch of like anime films and stuff, they also try to market those same films to a wider audience.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because like you have, for instance, I think they have Mirai, for example, where Mirai was nominated for an Academy Award the year it came out. And you have like several other films, And then you also have NYAV posts that have taken part in the dubbing of films that have also received, like, Academy Award nods, too. I think. Maybe. I could be wrong. I'm thinking Ernest and Celestine, but I'm not confident on that one.
I feel like that guy, like, that's the kind of thing where even if it wasn't officially nominated, like, that's definitely the kind of movie that, like, will get some sort of, you know, it will have some kind of for your consideration type campaign come Oscar season.
Mm-hmm. And Silent Voice is another big one, actually, because that one was potentially in the running, too. And that was NYAV Post as well. And though it didn't get properly nominated for it, it was a Oscar contender as well during the year it was out. And, like, both NYAV Post and I think GKIDS not only cater to anime fans and in the community, they also try to they broaden it to a wider audience.
I mean, I haven't done it recently, obviously, because of circumstances, but whenever I went to, like, the, I think it's a Regal is, like, the kind of the big chain theater I like to go to around here, like, they would routinely be advertising, like, you know, Ghibli Month or some, like, special event that GKIDS was GKIDS clearly puts a lot of effort into, like, you know, we can sell this to just, like, normal people who don't, like particularly care about anime outside of it just being, like, this movie looks fun. Let us see this. Yeah, this looks like a nice 2 hours to spend on, like, a weekday afternoon or an evening or something. And I think, and I appreciate that, because I feel like I can go on a whole spiel about kind of accessibility and how things are kind of marketed and pitched and blah blah blah. But I like that they just kind of treat it like, no, these are movies. Like, your mom would enjoy this.
No, yeah.
Like
it kind of goes back to, like, in a way, the accessibility of anime nowadays, because, like, especially for us, because we're around the same age, like, when we were younger, you didn't really know about anime. Like, you would
anime was just cartoons on TV.
Yeah, you had your Ghibli films, you had fucking Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, the normal stuff. Maybe like I think Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z weren't exactly our generation. They were a little bit older, but point still stands. But, like, nowadays, like, it's so much easier for a new anime fan to get into anime.
Absolutely.
And, like, it's things like GKIDS, and it's things like NYAV Post. It's people like GKIDS and NYAV Post that really work to try and make that possible. And it's so fun to see, honestly. But no, you're right, we could go forever on this. But no, the dub of Night is Short, Walk On Girl, I fucking love it. Like, there's so many difficult, like, technical things and, like, so many hurdles that they had to overcome, and they just did it, and it just sounds so cohesive and just so much fun. Again, Funimation. They've proven it's fucking possible. Dub Tatami Galaxy. They've proven this is possible. Do it. Don't maybe go Shia LaBeouf on your ass. Just do it.
If you don't do it, I won't go Shia LaBeouf on your ass, but I will be very sad.
I'll go Shia LaBeouf on your ass, and then Alma will just be in the corner, just, like, shaking his head, like, how dare you? How dare you? I am disappointed in you, son. That's what you would do. I can see it.
I was thinking more, I just kind of, like, sigh wistfully and, like, stare into the middle distance, thinking of what could have been.
Just staring into the void of sadness and disappointment. But no, like, this, and I haven't watched Nichijou or all of Nichijou. Like, it's possible to dub really niche, like, fast-paced stuff like this. It's humanly possible. Like, you can't just not... you can't say there's a show that's undubbable anymore, honestly, because it can be done. Just so long as you get put in the right hands.
Yeah, go watch this movie.
Please go watch this movie. How can they watch this movie?
Well, currently it is available on Blu-ray from GKIDS and Shout Factory, but that is the older release that does not have the dub on it. If you want to watch the dub, that is currently exclusively streaming on HBO Max. Now, my general understanding from how a lot of these sort of contract works is it will probably be exclusive to that for like 1 to 3 years, kind of depending on what contract was worked out. That starts streaming on there, earlier this year, I want to say?
Yeah, I think it came out February?
So, yeah, that sounds right. So sometime in the next few years, GKids will probably put out another Blu-ray edition that will have the dub on it.
Side note, because I think I remember telling you this. The film is also available on YouTube. I can neither confirm nor deny if the dub is on there, though, and the reason why I say this, the cast listing that is on the YouTube, on YouTube for renting and buying the video there, has the English cast listed.
Ooh.
I can neither confirm nor deny if that is, in fact, the English dub, but the English dub cast is listed under that listing on YouTube. So you can buy or rent it there, too.
Yeah, I might try and do a little research and see if I can confirm that. If not, you'll probably see a little placard on screen if you're watching this on YouTube, or there'll be a note in the description if you're doing this on the one of the audio feeds.
Yeah,
so,
because we have to, because at some of the movies every freaking year we have to add the extra thing because people think for some freaking reason that this is the actual film. It's not.
Oh, the movie's just available for free on YouTube?
Yes, because we love getting our asses in trouble. God.
My man, you will sometimes find movies you've heard of for free on YouTube, but they're usually things so old that whoever owns the copyright doesn't care anymore. But not something that came out last 5 years.
But thank you for thinking that we do, because we have moments like fucking Your Name, for example, like first season of Summer at the Movies when we didn't institute that shit, and people to this day still think we fucking tricked them. It's like no.
We still got that. I noticed that the episode we did for the Dragon Quest movie had a normally high viewing number, and it's like this is all people who thought it was the actual Dragon Quest movie.
Yeah, there's a reason, and Dragon Quest was last year, and the fact that we added an extra fucking disclaimer after season 1 of Summer, that's a whole thing entirely. I'm sorry. Please support the official release of the movie. God damn it.
Yes. Which will probably be on HBO Max for the time being. You can get a subscription there for some other amount. You may know somebody who will share your password with you.
Yeah.
Do that. That's fine. Don't listen to Disney. They're just trying to get money out of you. There's nothing wrong with sharing your password. You paid your money.
Yep, you paid. You're fine. Someone's paying. They're getting their money. They can shut up.
Exactly. And at some point in the near future, next couple of years probably, it will probably get a new home video release with the dub on it, so you can check it out there. Let's see. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on YouTube, where you're likely watching this, or one of our audio feeds, where you're probably also listening to this.
Yes, please follow or subscribe, whatever one you're on. Please
put a comment on the video if there's a comment section.
Yes.
We like knowing if people are listening.
Yes.
We're also on Twitter at Dub Talk Podcast. We have our Twitch page, which people have been streaming video games on. We need to figure out when we can stream Higurashi at some point.
Yes, we do. Yeah. If by the time this episode has comes out and we haven't done it yet, please tell us. We need to figure out when we can stream Higurashi.
Yeah, we need to figure it
because we want to.
It would just need an hour or two that we both have time off to do it once a week or something. So we should get on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, we also have an Instagram and a Tumblr, but both of those are dead. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, exactly. Platforms where we don't know what content to put on them anyways, and we're not sure if anyone's on there to begin with.
Right.
Everyone's favorite. But we have a Patreon, though, which is more fun.
Yes.
You can go there and you can get stuff early. I guess we don't have ads in the first place, so we can't really pitch ourselves not having ads there, but whatever. You can pretend they're ads on the regular. Oh no, YouTube has ads.
YouTube has ads, so there are ads.
If you want it without ads, sub on the Patreon.
Yes.
And if you sub on us, you'll get a little shout out on the episode, like we're about to do right now.
Yes.
Thank you to our $5 tier patrons, Megan's mom and dad. Hi, Megan's mom and dad.
Hi, Megan's mom and
dad.
Very
nice of you. Michelle Travis, Miraculous Corazon, Nico Robin, but with Yowie hands. It's always a funny image.
Because that's just Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. We love you.
Sue Twit and Victor Mayboroda. And at the $10 tier, we have Brandon Best, Carly Lesticow, Crimson Echidna, Jacob Wilson, J2, aka Jared, Julia W., Marissa Lenti, and Otaku Anthony. Steph, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, sweet lord. If you want to check out any weird things I do, or just rant about life in general. You can follow me on Twitter at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled REVUE. And I also have a blog, lifeandtimesotaku.wordpress.com, where I haven't posted in a hot minute, but I have things there, so if you want to. And what about you, Amon? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AmonDuelUS. Duel has 2 U's in it. I talk about whatever interests me, and I retweet a lot of art, and it's a fun time. And I'll also post songs occasionally because I like music. And I have a dusty old song. Would you like to hear what it is, Steph?
I would love to. What kind of dusty old song connects you to Night is Short?
Well, I tried to come up with something clever, but I couldn't think of, like, I'm sure there's a concept out there somewhere about going, like, a night on the town or something, but I couldn't think of what it was. So I decided to cheat, since I don't know if we're ever going to do a Tatami Galaxy episode.
Oh, okay.
Look, I saw Tatami Galaxy some point in college. I didn't know what it was. The anime club I was on was just showing it.
Yeah.
And I will eternally have a very vivid memory of watching it and the opening coming on and hearing, because when you finish this movie as it is, it ends with an Asian Kung Fu Generation song, because that's part of this now. The guy who does like the character designs for this and Tatami Galaxy does like all of their cover artwork, so they're part of this little like creative ecosystem.
That's right, I forgot about that, because I know the cover art for the opening for Erased. I remember that.
Is that also a Asian Kung Fu Generation song?
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah, no, they do like all of their, if not all of their cover artwork, like most of it.
Yeah, the
like,
cover art for that one specifically basically is very reminiscent of the black-haired girl.
Yeah, that's what Yusuke Nakamura draws. I have one of their art books. It's very nice, and that's very much like their style.
Nice.
But watching Tatami Galaxy, like, one of just the sort of the moments I felt like I was going to enjoy this show was watching the opening and hearing Koinu to Ame no Bito by Asian Kung Fu Generation, which is that opening song.
Nice.
And I'm gonna be very honest with you. I've not actually dug more into Asian Kung Fu Generation's work, not because I don't think I'll be interested. They're clearly a band I would enjoy. I'm just not sure I'm ever gonna have a moment that's going to be as good as like those 90 seconds of hearing that for the first time.
That's fair. That's very fair.
When it hits like the B section with all like little spinning faces, it's like, oh, this is beautiful. I feel like I'm having a moment here that I'm always gonna remember.
Yes.
So you should go check that out by watching Tatami Galaxy, which if you haven't seen it, you should, because it's a great show. I don't know if we made that clear for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, for the past 2 hours. If one thing has been made clear, go watch Tatami Galaxy, but also go watch this movie because it's fun.
Exactly.
And if you want to see more stuff for Summer at the Movies, because this is just the beginning of our Summer at the Movies this year, come back next Friday. I believe, if I'm correct, we might have a little bit of a Sword of the Stranger for you guys next, I believe.
Ooh.
That'll be fun.
So set your same Dub Talk time, same Dub Talk channel.
Yup. Oh, but yes. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, friends. Rock on Boston, rock over Chicago.
Have a good night, and otaku on, my friends.
君らしくあれとかちげったとかを出す理由のない